Elizabeth Warren is sounding the fundraising alarm bells after Kid Rock announced he may or may not plan to run for Senate. Though largely dismissed as a publicity stunt, Warren warns that a Kid Rock win would be worse than the apocalypse and would be the second coming of Trump. Democrats fear that it will be hell on earth and bodies will burn so badly that not even an Elizabeth Warren Indian rain dance could stop it. While Kid Rock may be claiming to run for Senate in Michigan to promote his new album, Warren is using it as a fundraising stunt. In a panicked email about Kid Rock, she linked a fundraising page where donations are to be split between Michigan's current Democratic senator and Warren's 2018 re-election campaign.
Did you fall down, hit your head, and should we call for a doctor?
A Twitter poll by the Boston Herald shows that 85% of responders believe that Kid Rock is, in fact, running, despite the fact that he has not yet officially filed. According to his website, he has 15 days post-announcement to file with the FEC, which is not quite accurate information. He also wrote that the website was created because he plans to release new music as part of his campaign marketing or it's only a marketing campaign for new music. The message is unclear. However, his alleged campaign website currently only boasts campaign phrases such as Pimp of the Nation and links to a merch store owned by Warner Brothers, whom he claims to not actually be affiliated with. Either way, the announcement claimed that he's tired of politicians' bullshit and that his fuck tank has indeed reached empty. Meanwhile, a West Virginia resident has created a Run the Rock 2020 campaign to draft The Rock as a presidential candidate. The campaign organizer, Kenton Tilford, says he believes a Rock presidency would unite the nation. Back in May, The Rock told GQ that a presidential campaign was a, quote, real possibility. He then claimed that the rumors were true during a Saturday Night Live monologue with Tom Hanks. As of this recording, The Rock has yet to formally comment and has not yet responded on Twitter. Some may accuse these possible campaigns of viewing the presidency as a joke and failing to take democracy seriously. They may say that America is, again, doomed. They may say it is the result of a new threat that is plaguing American politics, and that threat is memes. At least according to Salon. Salon put out a piece called "Forget Fake News, Alt-Right Memes Could Do More Damage to Democracy." The Salon piece revels in asking, how do memes and alt-right trade shape public opinion? The article claims that the alt-right has cornered the market on political rants. In fact, the alt-right has not only cornered the market, but trademarked it and copyrighted it as a seedy, underhanded, and totally new communication style meant to brainwash the masses. As evidence, the piece points out that the member count of subreddit The Donald has grown by nearly 150,000 since November for a total of nearly 450,000 members. And these 450,000 people, Salon warns, are going to destroy America. With memes. Because memes are apparently turning into America's only source of public information, with trust in large media networks at historic lows. Salon blames Reddit and YouTube for this, which the author says are both now dominated by the alt-right, rather than blaming shoddy reporting, such as this Salon article. This claim is based on a Harvard study that followed one demonetized alleged alt-right YouTube channel. The article also suggests that Facebook and other social media platforms have also become dominated by the alt-right and their nasty memes, and that algorithms and hate speech protocols favor the alt-right. Never mind that anyone right of center on Facebook has been complaining of limited reach for several years, and never mind that the YouTube adpocalypse was felt most strongly by right-leaning bloggers. It seems that the author themselves didn't do the research that she wishes Americans would do, as a Google search for memes destroying democracy brought up hits from last year, the year before that, 2011, and all the way back to 2009. One of these articles from the Daily Kos actually blames the creation of right-wing memes on Ronald Reagan. And yet America lives on. If nothing else, this proves that memes are poor co-conspirators and that the alt-right plans for world domination have so far failed, as their memes have done nothing except make normies look stupid for the past 8 years. In more serious news, 19-year-old Tatyana Hargrove is getting media attention this week after the NAACP released a video recapping an incident in which Bakersfield, California police mistook her for a 30-year-old bald man with a machete. According to Hargrove, she was riding her bike home from the store and stopped for a drink of water when she was approached by 3 patrol cars. One of the officers got out with his gun drawn, and they demanded to know if she had been at a local grocery store and then ordered her to hand over her backpack. She asked for a warrant, and the officers threatened her with a canine, which, quote, had the desired effect. She handed over the backpack, the officer threw her to the ground, punched her, and the other officers released the canine. She claims that the officers then swarmed her, putting their knees on her head and back, and arrested her for resisting an officer and aggravated assault on an officer after she began screaming for help. According to the police reports, officers alleged they were looking for a 5'10", 170-pound, balding black man with a goatee and a machete, aged 25 to 30, and Tatyana matched the description. She is 5'2" and approximately 115 pounds. Police also had surveillance footage of the machete incident that was clear enough that they used a screenshot to create a wanted notice. The officers claimed the altercation began when Hargrove threatened to leave, then overpowered the officers with teenage ninja prowess. The report justifies their mistake by adding, "Several nurses at Kern Medical walked by Hargrove and looked at me and asked what he had done. Each nurse referred to Hargrove as a male, and when I corrected them and advised she was a female, they were surprised and apologized for the mistake." Because several nurses mistaking a short tomboy with a hat for a male excuses all of these officers of any wrongdoing. The actual machete suspect, Douglas Washington, age 24, was arrested the following day. Charges have officially been filed against Hargrove, and the police department have found the use of force to be justified. Bakersfield PD has made the spotlight several times in the last year through various incidents, including but not limited to 2 officers being convicted of stealing meth from the evidence room and selling it to the public, officers shooting and killing an elderly man with dementia who was holding a crucifix, and still more officers being accused of beating up 2 black college students for jaywalking. Both the state and the feds have launched a probe to investigate the department for excessive force. According to USA Today, Bakersfield police are near the top of the list for the number of black people killed by police per capita. The Guardian, too, has named them, quote, America's deadliest police. And finally, the Trump-Russia investigation grew even hairier this week. Donald Trump Jr. revealed in an email chain that he had a meeting with a Russian lawyer who may or may not have been connected to the Russian government in order to receive incriminating information regarding Hillary Clinton. The newest revelations around this come from The Hill, which reports that Obama's Justice Department, aka Loretta Lynch, allowed the Russian lawyer into the country without a visa under, quote, extraordinary circumstances. This lawyer, whose name I will not attempt to pronounce, then began a lobbying campaign, held a meeting with Trump Jr. and company, and 5 days later was in the front row of a House Foreign Affairs Committee hearing on Russian policy. As part of her lobbying campaign, she attended events that sought to challenge a law that suspended American adoptions of Russian children as a punishment for human rights violations. Supposedly, one of these events was attended by at least 5 congressional staffers, and the lawyer also attended a dinner with the chairman of the House subcommittee overseeing Russian policy. She is said to have mostly, during this time, kept the company of Democrats. She claims that she never had any info on Hillary Clinton at all. She also denied any connection to the Russian government. The claim that she had information about Clinton was actually made by a British tabloid journalist turned Russian publicist music producer thing named Rob Goldstone. Rob Goldstone, it seems, is a fan of Russia right down to his Russia t-shirts. And it turns out both Goldstone and the Russian lawyer have ties to Fusion GPS, the same firm that was hired by the DNC to compose the Trump Golden Shower dossier. And now, in light of that, the co-founder of Fusion GPS, who was supposed to testify at a July 19th hearing, has decided not to do so. Meanwhile, Loretta Lynch, who cleared the lawyer to enter the States without a visa, is claiming to know nothing about it at all. As a further twist, a British cyber spying and defamation lawsuit linked to the dossier keeps bringing up the name John McCain, as in U.S. Senator John McCain, as well as a former State Department official. Court documents state that McCain had a copy of the dossier before it was circulated by journalists or published, and that he discussed it with former British ambassador to Moscow and advisor to Tony Blair. But documents also allege that McCain had the dossier even before they did, and that he reached out to them. In January, McCain denied any contact with the dossier except to hand it over to the FBI, which the FBI says is the first time they'd seen the document. Steele, the author of the dossier, finished the document in October, and who exactly saw it from October to January besides McCain is still a mystery and not suspicious at all. That concludes your Liberty-related news for the week. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you're over on YouTube, or throw me some upvotes if you're over on VidMe. And you can also find me over on Facebook and on Twitter. And if you really like my videos and want to help support my channel, you can also help by supporting me over on Patreon. Until next week, thanks for watching and helping me to spread the message of liberty.